We are back here live on campus. They call it Spectrum Stadium, and the Knights of UCF wearing some special uniforms here tonight take the field in front of what should be a really good crowd. People here are so pumped with the success of this UCF program. Longest winning streak in the nation. They have won 20 games in a row. Number 12 in the first college football playoff rankings. Not just a big game, but those implications. How about just inside the American Conference? The standings on the east side look like this. These are the two undefeated teams. Temple started off slow. They have been very hot, playing really well. Both undefeated at 4-0. This has been the Nissan pregame rush. Welcome inside the broadcast booth. Dave Fleming alongside Gene Chizik, Dusty Dvorak. Great to have these two guys with us here on Thursday night. So much to talk about. Implications in the American, in the group of 5, maybe even playoff implications. UCF hoping to improve on that number 12 ranking. If they're going to do it, the schedule gets tougher. They have a chance to make their case, and they will lean on their explosive offense.
It's a high-octane offense, right? They go fast, they spread the field, and they've got a lot of skill talent out there. McKenzie Milton, one of the best quarterbacks in all of college football, a true dual-threat quarterback, can get out of trouble easily, can make all the throws, but he's got a big test, Coach, because he's facing one of the best defenses in this conference.
He does, Dusty. And this team, this defense prides itself on physicality and speed, not just in one area, at all 3 levels of the defense. Look, their defensive line's registered 24 sacks on the year. UCF's only given up 9. In the secondary, number 2 in the country in pass efficiency defense. And number 6, keep your eye out for this guy, Rock Ya-Sin, 6'2" corner. He's got all the NFL scouts buzzing.
This will be the most talented defense that UCF has played so far, and it is a defense that not just Rock Ya-Sin, they're the other guys who are probably going to play in the NFL for this Temple defensive team.
Michael Dogby is an absolute beast up front of the defensive line, this Temple Owl team.
But the Owls won the toss and decided they wanted the ball first tonight, so they will receive. And UCF a little pooch kickoff. How about that to start the game? And handled nicely by Temple. It'll be good starting field position for the Owls and their offense with their sophomore quarterback Anthony Russo. Temple's season changed when Russo won the job. Now, it's not like the numbers have been spectacular for Anthony Russo, but a talented kid, and Temple's played a whole lot better with him under center.
Well, you look at this guy, and you know what? The number one, I guess, phrase that comes to mind when I look at this guy is trust. The teammates trust this guy. No, he doesn't always play pretty, but in clutch times, you go back to the Cincinnati overtime win, he stroked some great throws in there. These guys believe in this guy.
A big game in the American with implications even bigger than that. And we get going with a handoff, first running play of the game, and some missed tackles for UCF. A big run for Temple into UCF territory, and that is Rock Armstead looking pretty darn healthy on his first run of the night.
Well, this is exactly the way Temple needs to get this game going. Running the football with Rock Ya-Sin between the tackles. How about the broken tackle right here? He's a tough physical runner. Arm tackles aren't going to get him down. You better bring a shoulder, a hat, and wrap up on contact, because Rock Armstead, an elite running back for this team.
So it's first down Temple. What a start for the Owls. And they will give him the ball once again. This time not nearly as much running room, and gets maybe a yard on first down. And we will continue to watch that ankle. He has been limited the last few weeks. They had the extra days playing here on a Thursday night with the bye week last week to get him healthy. But he's already coming off the field. I think we will see Temple try to limit the snaps for Raquel Armstead, who is a very good running back on 2nd and 9. Just the fullback in on 2nd down. Russo's first pass right on the money and right to the sticks at the 25-yard line. That should be good enough for a Temple first down. It's Brandon Mack.
You look at these Temple receivers, and their starting first 3 average 6'4", 212 pounds. These guys are big, they're physical, they can go up and get the ball. They're big targets for Russo to hit.
I like the protection, plenty of time for Russo to navigate the field and step into the throw.
Another reason why Temple's playing so well, their offensive line has played much better. Screen set up, and that was not set up very well. In some ways, I think the Owls are lucky that was just incomplete.
See a little pressure there from Randy Shannon, bringing guys off the edge. Eric Mitchell coming in on a blitz. Brendan Hayes gets in. Couldn't get the screen pass set up. Not enough time for Rich Ravato to get out in the flats.
So it's 2nd and 10. Russo kept it, and not your classic mobile athletic quarterback. Big, strong kid, but the running game is not the strength of Anthony Russo.
Yeah, it's not, but you know, they got to keep that. They got to keep the defense honest, and that's what they'll do. He'll keep the ball down in the red zone. They're just running the zone read, but they got to be able to do that. So you just can't load up on the tailback and defend just the tailback on the run game.
One high safety, looks like man-to-man coverage. We'll see if Randy Shannon brings some pressure.
On 3rd and 9. Pressure comes right away. Russo gets away. Still looking downfield. Whistled one into coverage, incomplete. And knocked away, intended for Temple Bryant. It's 4th down.
Well, it's a nice rush off the edge here. Going to get home and force Russo off of his spot. Brendan Hayes gets that rip up. Russo has to step up. Finds his target, Temple Bryant, a little bit high, and he can't come down with the catch. Nice job by the UCF defense applying the pressure and getting off the field on 3rd down.
Well, Will Mobley, they have not leaned on him much this year. This is 41 yards. This would be his season long. On the first drive of the game, little high snap, good hold, and the kick is perfect. Right down the middle, the longest field goal of the year for Will Mobley. And Jeff Collins, who's very familiar with the state of Florida, in Central Florida with a 3-0 lead early for the Owls. It's the day after Halloween, so we figured we'd share some shots of the kids in costume of our great Thursday night crew here on college football on ESPN, including, yes, the Flemings in San Francisco. My son had a zombie baseball player costume going, that I thought was pretty creative.
Yes.
Not a bad job.
Yeah, Red Sox uniform.
He didn't want to get the fake blood all over a Giants uniform.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
So we
didn't want to get it messy. I got it.
Yeah, needed to pick one that we could get messy. Kickoff after a field goal on the opening drive for the Owls of Temple, and a great return. Adrian Killens, one of the fastest guys in college football, outside the 40. So the UCF offense will start with excellent field position. Let's go down to Laura.
McKenzie Milton's going to like that, Dave, and he has been staying warm on the sideline. He said after the 18-day layoff he wasn't worried about starting slow, but because Temple got the ball first, he went to his guys and said, gonna need you to help me throw on the sideline, all the while smiling, singing. One of the things that Coach Heupel wanted was for UCF to match Temple's energy, and Milton already doing that, not even on the field yet.
Well, it's good stuff, Laura, and I think while Laura was talking, you could hear the reaction. Nobody around here was sure that Milton was going to start this game. There's Killens, who had the 36-yard kickoff return. First down carry for UCF. McKenzie Milton, one of the best quarterbacks in the country. Josh Heupel, a great tutor of quarterbacks. His first year at the helm here this night's program. Milton will throw short, and the speed of Killens gets away to the 30 and out of bounds inside the 30. A big gain on 2nd down for Milton and UCF.
Adrian Killens, his speed is so tough to deal with on the field. Going to get him matched up outside with a linebacker, Chappelle Russell. He can't run with him. Huge gain for the Knights.
And the super high tempo now toward the end zone. Perfectly delivered. Touchdown. Dredrick Snelson. Wow. That happened fast.
An absolute dime by McKenzie Milton. It's a slot fade. Throw it to the back pylon. Dredrick Snelson beats the coverage, and that pass, Coach, was as good as it gets. Outstanding execution.
That was laser focused, this is a great throw over the back shoulder. 23, there's no way that the DB can get to it. This is what they talked about yesterday. They feel good about these matchups. They said, look, let them play us man-to-man. Let them play us 2 high or 1 high. It doesn't matter if it's man-to-man. We're going to make the plays. And obviously, that was a great throw and great catch.
No block kick this time, up and good. The extra point. That was 86 yards in 55 seconds. And remember the hit on the big first passing play. Milton popped up and didn't miss a beat. And you guys said it. Just could not have been more perfect. Right into the basket. Touchdown UCF, and they take a 7-3 lead. We got one of the top teams in college football here tonight in Orlando, UCF, and trying to make an argument to be ranked even higher than number 12. That drive, that's one drive, pretty impressive.
A glimpse of what this offense is capable of, Dave.
55 seconds of game time. We think about 80 seconds roughly of real time. That's how fast it happened on that long drive. Russo keeps it, goes into a slide, and got 5 yards on first down.
And that's what we talked about earlier in the game. You just do enough of that to keep the defense on edge and make sure they account for him with numbers. If you don't, they can load up in the box.
Uh-oh, fellas, we got a little something different here from the Temple offense.
This is Space Force.
Okay, you're going to have to explain this to me. We got offensive linemen in one part of the field. We got skill guys on another part of the field. We got a combo of both, and we got a jet sweep to Ventel Bryant for a nice gain. Well, that worked. The sort of unusual formation close to midfield. Temple gets a first down.
Jeff Collins told us about this. He put this in earlier in the week. Ventel Bryant, the jet sweep. UCF outflanked. They have no one to set the edge outside. Good blocking by Temple and a big gain. Space Force offense.
How about that? The offensive coordinator, Dave Patnute of Temple, dialed that one up, and it worked on a space game for UCF. Sort of the answer for Temple. Nice delivery to the tight end, Chris Myrick, into UCF territory. The Temple offense has played well in this first quarter.
That was a great job. Great throw and catch. That was a wheel route by Myrick coming from the inside slot. Little wheel route. Hopefully to rub the nickel in the corner. They got him free. Great throw, great catch.
First and 10 Owls. Russo will fake option style play and a very late dangerous pitch. I think Temple's lucky that that didn't go much worse than that. Jagger Gardner kind of just fell on the football. They lost a yard.
Well, now they've added a new flavor to the zone read. Right now they have a pitch guy, Dusty, and now they're giving you a third option back there that you have to make sure you have that covered with somebody from the third level. Very dangerous, though. Threw it out there kind of haphazardly. Got to be careful with those. That's how you get turnovers.
By the way, can I tie up a loose end from that UCF drive? We did communicate with the replay booth. They said they wanted to stop play and could not hit the button quickly enough to stop and review. The play stood, and that was a big reason why Armstead has the ball go right through his hands. Incomplete. It's third down.
A little bit of heat on that ball right there. He probably could have taken a little bit of a touch, a little bit lighter touch to throw that little swing route. Again, that was a catchable ball. But just taking a little bit off of that, I think he would have been able to catch that and got some yards down the sideline.
Right through Rock Armstead's hand, but you're exactly right, Coach. Too much heat on that football. He's got to be able to take a little bit off and make an easier pass for his running back to catch.
Russo, pressure comes right away. Russo on the move, dumps it short, and a nice little flip pass, and that is going to be close. Right along the sideline, Broderick Yancey, and I think he got the first down.
You know, UCF brought a little internal pressure on that, and I got to give a lot of credit to Russo. That was a great job of him escaping that and buying some extra time.
Shallow crosser there by Broderick Yancey. Really smart play by Russo. He forces the defender to come up. He finds his receiver wide open with grass in front to run. Nice play on a third down by Anthony Russo.
And maybe a little help from Ventel Bryant. That was a good block. Another short throw across the middle. It's going to go for a Temple touchdown. Brandon Mack, his 5th of the year. And the Owls answer the drive of UCF.
Such a big target in Brandon Mack. He's 6'5", he's 215, just a sophomore, but he's really come on this season, become a go-to weapon for Anthony Russo. Matched up there on the linebacker, Pat Jasinski, and Coach Jasinski couldn't run with him.
Yeah, and again, this is a target that's big. He's running shallow crossing routes and running away from linebackers. If you put a DB on him, they can throw the jump ball to him in the end zone because he is 6'5". But I like what Temple's doing right now. They're really mixing up some of these crossing routes. Catch and carry is the name of the game with this. They're getting a lot of yards after the catch.
And the Owls' first touchdown of the night to answer the drive of UCF. Mack from Russo. It's 10-7 Temple. We'll be back quickly right after this. Temple tough, Temple defense. It's been the offenses that have been the stars. And a pooch kick from Temple's side, very similar to the one that UCF executed. The Knights offense back on the field. Let's go down to Laura.
Well, Dave, Temple's defensive coordinator, Andrew Thacker, hopes his defense can be the star this series, telling his guys about the speed of UCF. You've got to keep your feet moving at all times. You can't be caught flat-footed or they will outrun you, wanting his guys to run faster. Also saying the nonverbal communication has to be better in the secondary. It is loud out there on the field. Jeff Collins had wanted them to feed off the noise, but they have struggled with communication, according to Thacker, so far.
Something to pay attention to against this super tempo offense of UCF. Anderson gets the handoff. They use him in so many different ways, and he gets a gain of 8 on first down.
You know, there's so much speed out here on this UCF offense, and it's everywhere. It's not just Killins. Otis Anderson, they move him around. Great job, great run.
They'll use a wildcat, pitch it back to Milton, the regular quarterback, who's going to dance around to the pocket and then take off, and he takes a big hit right at the line of scrimmage. All of that movement, all of that misdirection for no gain.
Well, double reverse, they pitch it back to McKenzie Milton. That's an outstanding job, coach, on the back end by the Temple defense. He wanted to take the deep shot, but it was well covered.
Yeah, double covered.
Third and a yard, and UCF will convert with the quick tempo. Penalty flag thrown at the end of that play.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 42. 15-yard penalty added to the end of the run. Automatic, first down.
So that makes it a big gain for UCF. Yeah, definitely got a piece. More than a piece. A big chunk.
Greg McCray, the third running back that they use, very well-rounded running back, had a huge game last time they were out against East Carolina. Really starting to come into his own as a running back for this offense.
That's kind of what Gene was talking about. They have a lot of weapons on this UCF team. Have batted down at the line of scrimmage.
Nice job, O'Shea, shutting the rush down, getting his hands up, but you're exactly right, Dave. Different than whenever he was at Oklahoma. After he left, he changed some things. Much more of that Art Briles type of offense where you see the wide receivers really spreading the field, create a lot of space, even more up-tempo. But the focus of this offense, just like you said, it's a power inside physical rushing attack.
2nd and 10, and a handoff. Big hole opens up straight up the middle. Taj McGowan for a first down and more inside the 20. And isn't that part of the concept of spreading it out so wide so you get those big running lanes and can move the ball on the ground? That's what the Art Briles Baylor offense has always been about to me. McKenzie Milton, pressure, dumps it short, incomplete.
You're right, but a lot of people think that it's just it's an air raid, right? We're just going to throw it down the field. That's not right. They create that space so they can run the football. They force you to show your hand, right? And it creates some one-on-one matchups outside that when you have players like UCF does, you can really exploit opposing defenses.
Yeah, and again, I think people think, you know, the run game is secondary in their thought. It's not. It's the first thing they think about in this offense.
McCray back in the backfield. It does get much quieter when UCF is on offense, and they do that to try to help their team. Play fake toward the end zone, and a penalty flag comes. Too much contact intended for Davis.
Yeah, and look, when you're a secondary player, the first thing the coaches tell you is if you don't look back for the ball, if your back is turned to the quarterback and there's any sort of confrontation.
Defense number 14. 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
If there's any sort of confrontation right there, so you look, he's got good position till right now he's not looking for the football. You're going to get called for PI on that every time. And again, this is the value of throwing the ball up in the end zone. Let your guy take the one-on-one shot.
By the way, Davis was a little shaken up after that play, and so he's gone to the bench. I don't know if that's left shoulder, left arm, something like that. 1st and goal for UCF.
Something to watch. He's a key piece of this offense, Dave.
Milton keeps it, and that one he threw behind his intended target. Kalubi Ali, the 6th-year senior tight end, who might have been able to take it into the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Yeah, he's a very efficient receiver. You know, he does a lot of the dirty work. He's the fullback on ISOs. He does a lot of the split zone where he's got to kick out 250-pound defensive ends, but they will sneak him out into the flat on the perimeter every so often. If he would have caught that, he probably would have hit his head on the goalpost with that one.
He's got 1 touchdown on the year. It's 2nd and goal for UCF. Milton again keeps it, and he's going to hit his man. Second chance, Kalubi-Ali cashes it in. Touchdown, UCF.
Great play action right there. He rode the run game, sucked the whole secondary up, and Kalubi-Ali was able to sneak right past the safeties. Great throw, great catch. I love it down in the red
running
zone.
the football does, right, Coach? It gets that defense more aggressive coming up. And you're exactly right. McKenzie Milton stayed in there a long time at the mesh point, popped up, and a wide open target in the end zone.
All kinds of offense. We still have 4 minutes plus in the first quarter of this game. It's the second touchdown for the Knights.
Okay, here we go. So take a look here at these linebackers. They're going to be sucked up, right? And we're going to take a look. Here's Kalubi-Ali just going to sneak out, and he's going to be in the middle of the field. Play action gets those backers up. Middle of the field's wide open. Safety took a step up, and it's an easy touchdown for this UCF offense.
And I love this. This is a great design play because they made it look exactly like an ISO. What's happened every time they run this? He's come in there and he's ISO'd a linebacker. This time he slipped right past him. They dumped it right over his head. Great play call in the red zone.
That's how you set plays up with play calls early. You pay it off later. And the UCF touchdown makes it 14-10 Knights.
You like points, though, right? I mean, come on. Everybody likes points. No one likes defense besides me and Coach Chiswick anymore.
I don't like points. I want to see some defense.
We flew in 2 defensive guys here for Thursday Night Football. And we are going to have a lot of points tonight, I think. Wright's going to bring it out. A little delayed return from the goal line, and maybe that wasn't the best decision. He stopped short of the 20. Anthony Russo and the offense coming back on the field. Let's go down to Laura.
Dave, Anthony Russo says that his dad, Tony, is his best friend and credits him with a lot of his football acumen. When Anthony was 6 years old, he was going to play his flag football game, and his mom said, hey, you should put on your dad's old high school practice shirt. Notice the number 15 that Russo still wears. So ever since that day, every single game that Anthony Russo has played since 6 years old, he has worn his dad's shirt. You can see it almost looks like a little washcloth there. He's got to get this thing on and get it over his shoulders, and that's about as far as it goes. But he says he feels like he's got a piece of his dad, Tony, with him out there on the field. Gives him great confidence, guys.
Wow, that is pretty cool. Delayed handoff. Armstead running well in this first quarter. Gets a Temple first down. I just want to check with Laura to make sure I heard that right. Since he was 6 years old?
6 years old, Dave. Every single game that he's ever played, all the way back to flag football. He had to cut the shirt because he said it wouldn't fit over his head anymore. But credit to that shirt for lasting this long, too.
Amazing.
It's a great fabric right there, right?
Well made.
It's incredible. Good for Anthony Russo, keeping his father with him ever since he was 6 years old. Great story.
He's been a difference maker for this Temple offense. This guy has really been the difference maker. Nowhere to go this time. Armstead stacked up. Nate Evans wearing number 44 tonight. And it's hard for me to look at Nate Evans without thinking of the great Willie McCovey, who passed away yesterday. Baseball Hall of Famer, a friend to so many people. Anyway, I just wanted to mention the great Hall of Famer Willie McCovey. Number 44 for UCF has been playing some excellent football.
Yeah, he's the number 2 leading tackler on the team. The coaches really like his ability to cover ground on the perimeter. Plus, he can be a physical inside player when he needs to, too, at 240 pounds.
Had a pretty big play in the win against ECU last time out for UCF. A great move by Russo, and he delivers a strike down the sideline. Touchdown, Temple. Randall Jones. And Russo stepped up, avoided the pressure, and put it right on the money.
Great throw, great catch. Brandon Moore, one of the best corners UCF has. He just got outrun. He's in press coverage. It was a double move. He stuck just for a second. And Randall Jones was able to outrun him. Unbelievable throw, unbelievable catch. But great job by Russo buying time to be able to step up into the pocket and make that throw.
Hey, he's done that 2, 3, 4 times in this first quarter to great effect. That one for a 70-yard touchdown. Extra point is up and good. Back and forth. And we'll keep it here. The Temple offense has come ready to play tonight. They lead UCF 17-14. No, we are not. We may have more points before the first quarter comes to an end, the way this game is going. That last drive took 1 minute and 20 seconds. So first down, Knights offense back on the field. Milton is going to go deep. He's got a man open, incomplete. Just just a little too far, intended for Trey Nixon. It's second down.
They wanted to come back with the exact same deal. It was a double move. Trey Nixon's one of the fastest players on their football team. It was the double move. He had it wide open. He had his guy beat just like they just did previously at Temple. He just overthrew him just a hair.
Man, Milton's going to be thinking about that one.
All this tight press coverage. There's going to be a lot of shots taken here tonight.
Still the first quarter, and a running play for Otis Anderson to get some positive yardage and set up third down. By the way, Gabriel Davis, the big playmaker lately, we saw him shaken up on the last UCF drive, did go to the locker room. We'll see if we can't get an update on what's going on with Gabriel Davis. If he's not out there, they will miss him. As much talent as they have, he's been about the best they've had on the outside.
17, Marlon Williams, a nice backup, but Gabriel Davis, he's a difference maker for this team.
Tight end motions into the backfield, taking extra time here on third down. Milton with the snap in the pocket. He'll throw again deep, and again just a little too far. Same idea. Trey Nixon could not quite get there. It's fourth down.
They found a matchup that they like. Trey Nixon on Ty Mason on the outside. As coaches mentioned, speed, can really run outside, just beats him at the line of scrimmage. Not a double move, just gets an outside release, free, clean release, and he runs past the defender. But for the second time there, McKenzie Milton too much on that pass.
Well, Milton, who has been about as productive as any quarterback in the country the last 2 years, he missed a couple of chances there. Pressure on the punt, but no block. And it's going to bounce and take a good UCF bounce all the way down close to the 20-yard line. And there is some pushing and shoving behind the play with Mac Loudermilk, who's got a little more personality than most punters we see. I don't think there was a penalty flag thrown, though, so all's well. Everybody can appreciate the kind of plays we're seeing on offense. Wide open across the middle, and another great delivery, this time to the Florida native, Ventel Bryant across midfield. First down and more for the Owls.
Well, this guy's number 2 on the all-time receiving yards list at Temple. Great job. Again, it was just a switch release. He ran the inside seam route, but we talked about it. Russo is on money with these throws.
32 yards to convert on third down. Final minute of the first quarter. Russo stayed behind the line, I guess, and threw that one to the back shoulder. It was caught by Mack. Another Temple first down.
Great job by Russo stepping up into the pocket and the ball adjustment in the air by Brandon Mack to catch that.
This guy, when he was in high school, he was an Elite 11 kind of quarterback. He was a highly touted passer in high school, ended up at Temple. And I think we're starting to see some of that talent from Russo leading this Temple offense on what I believe will be the final play of a wild first quarter.
Playing with a lot of confidence right now. When you're a confident player and you got playmakers outside, good things happen. This first quarter, man, an explosive opening frame for this Temple offense.
Well, if UCF is thinking tonight's the night to make a statement, we should be ranked higher in those playoff rankings. We deserve a chance. They got something else to worry about tonight, and that is just winning this game. Temple has come to play. End of quarter number 1. It's 17-14.
A wild one in Orlando as Temple's offense has 3 passing plays over 20 yards. And the UCF defensive coaches telling their defense they are going to keep taking shots because they're having success. We have to be ready for it. Telling them that they look like they're playing scared, Dave.
Well, I think there have been some scary plays on both sides for the defensive coordinators. Armstead will run the ball. And lunging for extra yardage in the first quarter, 46 plays if you put the 2 offenses combined, 445 total yards of offense in the first quarter, and 11 plays combined of 15 or more yards.
I would say that's a defensive coordinator nightmare.
I was about to say that'll keep a DC up at night for sure. Wow.
Dusty's sweating bullets just looking at those numbers. 3rd and 5 for Temple. Russo throws, and a jump attempt, and incomplete. Ball knocked away, trying to fit it into a very tight space intended for Isaiah Wright.
Rashard Kazi working out the nickel man-to-man coverage, gets his head around just at the last moment. A nice job being in the view of Isaiah Wright might have helped break that pass up at the last second. Good coverage down the field.
So Will Mobley, who made a 41-yarder earlier in this game, his longest of the year. This one from 33 yards. Good snap and hold, and that kick kind of wobbles up there, but it's through. Now there is a penalty flag right near the kicker, and Jeff Collins is thinking, hey, wait a minute, we might take some points off the board and take a first down. It was 4th and 5, right?
Kicker. Defense number 14. A 5-yard penalty results in an automatic first down.
Wow, not an automatic first down, but it was 4th and 5, so it is a first down, and Josh Heupel can't believe it.
Yeah, this is a huge penalty. Obviously, when you're in the red zone, we talked about this earlier about the importance of scoring touchdowns in the red zone. This would have been 3 points, but now they got an opportunity to get 7. And in tight games like this, red zone scoring of touchdowns is obviously always at a premium.
And Neville Clark, he full extension, laid out to try to block that kick too close to the kicker. It's a right call by the official and a big mistake by the junior cornerback, Neville Clark.
Not quite first and goal, Temple, but close to it, just outside the 10. And we'll see if they take advantage of a second opportunity. Armstead in the backfield gets the ball. Armstead chugging forward down to the 5.
There's a lot of questions coming into the game about his ankle. He'd missed the previous 2 games. He was hurt in the 4th quarter against East Carolina. He looks really good so far tonight.
Russo's going to throw. Jumps up and delivers out of bounds, incomplete. Mack could not even get 1 foot down. He was open and caught it, but it's incomplete in 3rd down.
Brandon Mack had a great double move down there on the linebacker. Obviously, it was out of bounds, but he made the double move on 56 and just barely got it out of bounds right there. That was a great design call. Throw was a little bit long, but he's got to be aware of where the end line is.
That's what I was going to say. He should be able to make that catch inbounds. Lost track of where he was on the field.
I wonder whether he got confused. That second line, I think, can be confusing sometimes. Anyway, it's 3rd down. Russo tried to whistle it in there, incomplete, knocked away. I'll give UCF's defense credit. Temple got the second chance for a touchdown. They're going to have to settle for another field goal try.
Well, I think they can really build on that. That's 2 red zone stops where you made them kick field goals. And again, you know, they've been struggling a little bit tonight. They need some confidence. That's 2 great stops down there, and they can build on that. And I'm sure Randy Shannon's going to really talk to them about the ability to bow it up down there and make those stops.
Well, you said it. Essentially, that's a 4-point sequence in favor of UCF. So we'll remember that one, and that's assuming he makes this. He made the 30-yarder or so, but they took the points off the board. Now from 22, and they're faking it. Russo keeps it and bowls his way into the end zone. Touchdown. Anthony Russo, the holder, the quarterback, took the snap and took off. And forget about saving the points. Temple gets the touchdown anyway.
Jeff Collins told us yesterday he had multiple fakes on the field goal and punt. He hadn't had to spend as much time as a defensive coordinator with the trust he has. Sure looks like Anthony Russo got in. They dial it up there. You got to love the aggressiveness there by Jeff Collins, Coach.
Well, you love the call. And again, he was very confident yesterday when he talked about the things they have special team-wise that, you know, obviously, you know, in a game like this with everything on the line, you're running your quarterback down there. Look, he's 6'5". He could just fall forward for 2 yards, right? They did a great job of designing that play. They got a kick-out block on the perimeter.
It's 23-14 with the extra point coming. They don't fake this one. It's right down the middle. 10-point lead for the Owls.
It's been a huge part of their season. Non-offensive touchdown. That's the 8th non-offensive touchdown of the season. I don't know if any as big as the one we saw right there. Look at Anthony Russo, the big quarterback. He's going to call his own number. Jeff Collins isn't messing around. He came to play. He came to win tonight.
You're watching the American Conference on ESPN, and maybe the game of the year in the American here tonight in Orlando. Temple has been red hot after a slow start to the season, and the Owls have jumped ahead here in the first half against the number 12 ranked UCF Knights. Anthony Russo, the day after Halloween, some trick-or-treat, trick play action for the Owls. And not just that, they had the wild formation on offense for a nice game in the first quarter. It's a touchback for UCF.
Yeah,
And I'm betting they're going to keep taking those chances. This time Milton keeps it and just could not get to the corner. A gain of about a yard. Now remember, toughest test so far this year for UCF. They were on the road playing a talented, and not quite as good as the last few years, but still a good Memphis team. And they were down in the second quarter 30-14.
Yeah.
UCF came back and won that game. So they've been here before. Milton throws across the middle, and that one just perfect. Anderson out of the open into Temple territory. Anderson breaks a tackle to the 20 and brought down inside the 20.
Oh, this is exactly what Otis Anderson brings to this offense. Running back, but this time he's going to play wide receiver. It's going to be an RPO, play action pass, middle of the field's open, and Otis Anderson dynamic with the ball in his hands.
57 yards. Next play across the middle. It's going to be first and goal UCF. Trey Nixon with the catch, and they will go fast. Under center again. Milton almost tripped, kept his balance, and he will take it in. Touchdown. And Gene, I think that's what you were saying was so dangerous a couple plays ago. Finally, they let Milton improvise. I thought he was going to be tripped up, which would have been a disaster. But the athlete stayed on his feet, and from there it was pretty easy.
Well, you know, Temple did a great job. It was supposed to be a pass route where they're running a guy to the flat and a guy to the corner. Temple did a great job of covering both routes. Typically down there, you'll see those routes run wide open. But Milton did a great job. He saw they were covered. He tucked the ball. Scored. Great job. Great decision. You see it right here. He comes off the play action. He stumbles a little bit. He sees both routes are covered, and he sees there's no contain on the right side. Takes the ball in. Great job. Great decision making. McKenzie Milton, that's why he is as effective as he always has been.
Well, the longest win streak in college football is on the line tonight. UCF has won 20 in a row. The first of that streak against FIU. Some memorable wins along the way. The AAC American Championship last year. How about the Peach Bowl against Auburn? A tremendous scene in Atlanta with all the big plays. Griffin, Milton, and company tested this year at Memphis, down big in the second quarter, came all the way back and escaped with a 1-point victory, and they are going to be tested again here tonight at Spectrum Stadium in front of a raucous crowd. But Temple has showed up. 24-21, the Owls with the 3-point lead even after the Milton touchdown run. How about back-to-back fourth down touchdown plays? Temple with the fake field goal. Milton, as UCF went for it on 4th and 1 and converted. Kicking it deep and kicking it out of bounds. That's a mistake. That'll give Temple good field position. But they have become football crazy at UCF with all that winning the last couple of years. Russo to Armstead for a gain of 4 on first down.
You know, he looks great. Armstead looks great. I don't see any sign of, you know, the limping. You know, we thought we kind of might have saw it a little bit in pregame warm-up, but now the juices are flowing. I see a guy that looks 100%.
I'm with you. It wasn't a great look before the game, and I thought maybe he was going to be limited. He does not look limited at all. See if it stays that way. There's Armstead with the carry and the burst. Armstead close to midfield. Temple first down.
A big hole off the right side. Vincent Picozzi, Adam Klein working over there. Adam Klein gets a good kick out block. Picozzi's there in the hole, and he's going to the second level, tries to get on the safety. Nice job blocking up front.
Quell Armstead from Millville, New Jersey, hometown of Mike Trout. Armstead on the football field has been one of the all-time greats in Temple history. And he's going to take a breather, at least for this second down play. If you're in Philly, you got to have Carson Wentz on the card, don't you?
They've been struggling so far this year, Dave.
Temple, there was a column in the Philadelphia paper this week. Temple is the hottest football team in Philly. Russo throws short and a little cut up the field to get close. I think Roger Yancey got there, and they do spot him with a first down.
That was a great job. You know, they went to empty. There was no backs in the backfield. They ran a little option route with Yancey. He was sitting in the hole between the Mike linebacker and the nickel. Easy throw, easy catch. They'll take that all night.
I like that he got to the first down marker, stopped his route right there, knew where he needed to get.
Wentz, Alshon Jeffrey, they would be proud. First down, little check down to the fullback. Robert Travato, one of those single-digit players. That is a number of honor in the Temple football program going back several years. Travato doesn't get to touch the ball a lot, but does a lot of the dirty work.
I like to see a 240-pound old-school fullback get the ball thrown to him out there on the perimeter.
Reward the guy for sticking his nose in there play after play. He's in the backfield here, and they're going to reward him again. He gets the handoff. He is going nowhere but north-south.
Pads down, running through tackles. Jasinski's able to wrestle him to the ground after a couple of yards on the game. But Nitro, the fullback, a couple touches, back-to-back plays.
Old throwback guy. I like it. I like it.
Former walk-on.
3rd and 5. Looks like a short 5 to me. Russo, a delayed handoff. Rich Travato will lunge ahead. He took a big hit at the end of that, and he was stopped a little bit short. Now, this is the part of the field where I would not be surprised at all if Temple just goes for it, and they might go for it with some quick tempo. UCF is trying to substitute. Temple had to get their receiver back onside. They will go for it. Rich Travato, first down and more. And the fullback, the Bullsworth Award nominee, the former walk-on, with a first down for the Owls.
Watch Rich Travato run through an arm tackle of the linebacker Pat Jasinski. Meets him right in the hole, good on good, and Jasinski can't get him to the down. That's that old school mentality. Lower your shoulder, run through arm tackles, big pickup for the Temple offense.
High snap, Armstead carry straight ahead. Almost broke free. An ankle tackle saved the touchdown. Armstead a little feisty as he pops up.
Well, Central Florida right now in the middle of the defense, they're going to have to get something going in the middle of the defense because Armstead's right now averaging almost 8 yards a carry, and it's nothing fancy. It's right down the middle of the defense.
2nd and goal. Armstead gets the ball again. This time walled up. Got back to the line of scrimmage, no more.
We've seen UCF on the last possession. They were able to bow up when they got in the red zone, get a big stop. Huge 3rd down. They're midway through the 2nd quarter.
This is where you got to look at a matchup with Brandon Mack. They love him, number 88, in the red zone.
Jeff Collins was trying to get a timeout. He did not get it, and that ball is knocked down incomplete. Collins wanted a timeout. He was running onto the field. He was screaming at his quarterback. He could not get anybody's attention, and it's 4th down. They're going to kick a field goal.
He's happy he didn't get anyone's attention right now, isn't he?
I think he would have liked to have gotten organized and run a different 3rd and goal play. So Jeff Collins shaking his head over there. They have 2 timeouts remaining here in this first half. Will Mobley, who is 1 for 1. Last time they lined up for a field goal, they faked it. This time, that would take some guts to do it 2 times in a row. Snap hold, they're kicking it, and Mobley straight on through. So the longest ball control drive of this game, more than 5 minutes, ends up with 3 points. In the 2nd quarter, Temple leads 27-21. Well, they call it the Space Game, 2nd annual here at UCF. We are not very far at all from NASA's Kennedy Space Center, Cape Canaveral. In fact, did you know the 50-yard line here at this on-campus facility, the exact latitude of the historic launch complex 39A at the Kennedy Space Center, where all the Apollo missions to the moon launched from, the exact latitude from that 50-yard line to that launch pad.
Very interesting. Did not know that.
And now we'll go back to football.
Important fact.
Kickoff deep to Killens, who's got that rocket speed, hits the hole to the 30, cuts it back middle, and gets tackled from behind as he was trying to pick his way forward. Together, Killens with that great speed to the corner, and will go out of bounds after getting a UCF first down.
Center 72 Jordan Johnson pulls out in front, gets a key block on the edge to help spring Killens on the perimeter.
Plenty of time by UCF standards. Play fake. Milton, a little pump fake. Down the sideline. Anderson jumped up, but he's out of bounds. He caught it, but helped out of bounds by the Temple defense. That was a good play all the way around.
Yeah, it was. That was great play action. He's getting a lot of mileage off the play action tonight. Otis just runs a fade corner route. The ball is just put a little bit too wide. It was a great throw and a great catch. about 1 foot too far out of bounds.
And the safety Benny Walls helped force Anderson out of bounds. Otherwise, that might have been a completed catch for the big gain. They will hand the ball off. That's Greg McCray. McCray out into the open, and you can see why they like this kid so much. Into Temple territory, first down UCF.
Same play as we saw before. Jordan Johnson pulls around to the left, and McCray did a great job of following the block, seeing his seam, and hit the seam up inside.
Milton steps up, throws short right. That's a catch inbound, short of the first down by Trey Nixon. As we said, plenty of time for the super fast tempo of UCF. Milton kept it, and he will get the first down. Went into a slide after getting there. 1st and 10 Knights.
He had his triple option, his last option on the outside. He had Dedrick Snelson he could have thrown the ball to. Good enough speed to pick up enough to move the chains.
And they get it snapped so quickly. Milton across the middle, a little high. Intended for Marlon Williams.
McKenzie's been good so far tonight, but he's missed some throws, fellas. I thought Dedrick Snelson had good inside position. Apologize. Marlon Williams had good inside position, could have caught that pass, but far too high. Sailed it over his intended target.
And still no Gabriel Davis, who has been so good as a wide receiver for UCF. He was banged up in the first quarter. UCF gives 0 injury information, so we will likely get no detail. He went into the locker room, but he has not come back out as far as we can tell. 2nd and 10. Milton over the top. And that one is knocked away, incomplete. At the last minute, the defensive back got turned around and knocked it away. Intended for Killens.
I like the rush on the outside. They walk Sean Bradley, the linebacker, up. He gets good pressure on Milton. Milton's got to put it up. And you see on the back end, Chappelle Russell. That's a linebacker running with Killens down the field. Outstanding coverage to get that ball loose.
And maybe that's your example from earlier in the game. There was a little contact, but he got the head turned around.
Right.
Didn't get Milton. That is a catch right at the yard to gain by Snelson. And where are they going to spot him? It's 4th down. They spotted him short by about a half a yard. Delvon Randall with that quick hit drove him backwards. UCF, though, getting organized. 2 minutes to go first half. They're going for it. McCray, no. Milton kept it. He gets dragged down, but flags are thrown. Should have been a 4th down stop. Instead, it's going to be a face mask on the middle linebacker, Sean Bradley.
Defense by Temple.
Face mask. Defense number 5. Half the distance to the goal. Automatic. First down.
What a mistake.
Huge mistake off the edge. It's Sean Bradley, the senior. He's in excellent position to make that play. Would have been a crucial stop for his defense. You saw it right there. Grab the face mask. I got to tell you what I like, Coach. Josh Heupel, he didn't even take a second to think about that, right? No. He's been aggressive. That's the mentality. They're attacking. 4th and short, no problem. We're going to get up on the football, not let you get a line, and we're going to go.
Yeah, he knew the call. He knew he was going to go with a quarterback zone read keep.
Now, would you have liked it as much if Bradley had just tackled him and it was a turnover on downs?
No, but stay true to who you are. That's who they've been this season, who they've been tonight.
I agree. A little misdirection and a jet sweep type play toward the outside, lunging for the pylon. Stopped short, Marlon Williams. He thinks he got in, but he got down to about the 1.
I love the call. I love the call on the jet sweep to Marlon Williams. He had 2 blockers out in front. This one's going to be close, guys. Looks like it got right over the pylon.
I thought his foot was out, and as he reached it, it's going to be just short of the end zone.
Straight ahead, touchdown UCF. Taj McGowan. That face mask penalty, they had him stopped on 4th down, and that looms large in this game.
See the line of scrimmage, good push on the right side. It's Jake Brown, it's Cole Schneider, and the short yardage back. Taj McGowan powers his way for a big touchdown.
Extra point good. UCF in the lead for the first time since it was 14-10. And Gene said it. Look, 143 is a lot of time for Temple, the way the offense has been moving, but UCF will take the touchdown and the 1-point lead.
That's what's fun about this game, though, guys. You got guys on both sides that feel the same way.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
I mean, you can't say Jeff Collins
you're exactly right.
doesn't have the same mentality. These two head coaches, one's a defensive guy, one's an offensive guy, but they're both very aggressive in their nature.
Man, they love this pooch kick. And Temple, with plenty of time on the clock, will start outside the 35-yard line. Plenty of time for Temple, now trailing by a point, 28-27. In the pocket here, throws deep middle. Bryant jumps up and catches it. Wow, what a grab by the kid from Tampa.
Well, Russo took the best matchup. It went to Bryant. Great throw.
Feels like about the second game already between these two teams. Russo takes off. Wide open field out in front. Goes into a slide and got some of that. You got the penalty yardage back and then ahead by about a yard. Temple, I think, smartly will take a timeout with 31 seconds on the clock. You sound like a coach who's thrown some chalk at halftime a few times.
Yeah, in my day, guys, I have.
Out of the timeout, Russo holds onto it for a long time, finally breaks out and gets away. Russo again into the slide. The clock will stop momentarily. One timeout remaining, 24 seconds. They want to kill it on first down. They're inside the 20. We'll see if they can get it spiked and save some time. They will, apparently. No, UCF called a timeout even before they snapped it. How about that? Should there be, UCF called a timeout, should there be 24 seconds? I mean, the play never got snapped. They need to put those 2 seconds back on the clock. I don't know how they let that happen. And that's just a blatant error. Russo in the pocket, throws, and it won't matter. Touchdown, Temple. Ventel Bryant. And he won't celebrate excessively this time, you hope. He'll just hand the ball to the official, and, well, who knows what he's going to do. 4 catches, 82 yards, a touchdown. What a 2-minute drive by Temple to take the lead right back.
Temple's been running the same route all night long. It's been a wheel by number 2. Ventrell was the outside receiver and runs an inside seam route. He's caught several of these tonight. They're going to have to really get on the chalkboard when they go to halftime and get this figured out, because that route is continuing to be effective.
What a half. We'll send it to studio. Temple with the 34-28 lead here in Orlando. Take it away, Chris and the gang. There's a wild first 30 minutes in Orlando between two of the best teams in the American, and who knows, maybe even bigger picture than that. Temple with the 34-28 lead over number 12 ranked UCF just moments ago. Laura was with the UCF head coach.
What was your message to these guys at halftime?
Hey, champions continue to play and compete. You with me? It's 0-0. We said at the beginning of the game that we're going to play at 0-0, play it for 60 minutes. Let's go play ball.
Right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Well, doesn't it feel like I've loosened the tie? It feels like a championship kind of game. I got to save something for the fourth quarter. Wow.
All I can say is I hope the defense has got some things fixed at halftime. You know, really, this has just become a game of matchups, and they're finding their best matchups, and they're throwing the football down the field. Both teams are starting to run the ball better. See what happens
Central
in the second
Florida's
half.
going to have an answer, right? Because in that first half, Temple ran it well with Armstead, and they threw it all over the field with Russo. You got to take something away. So,
right.
you know, and I think that tighter coverage, there's a lot of free runners out there for the Temple wide receivers.
You can hardly believe the stats from the first half here in Orlando. We had 62 points on the board. We ran just about 100 plays total. Total yardage, more than 800. The most first half yards Temple has had in a long while. And I'm sure the defensive coaches were stressed in the locker room at halftime. 20 minutes not enough to figure out everything that's going on here.
Defensive players are tired. 97 plays run that first half. Man.
UCF will get the ball to start the second half. Temple won the toss, but they wanted it to begin the game. So their defense will be on the field. A shorter kickoff, and it is returnable for UCF outside the 20. Burst of speed and a broken tackle almost to the 35-yard line for the Knights. Let's go down to Laura.
Dave, UCF starting wide receiver Gabriel Davis, a big weapon for them, of course, out in the first quarter, spent the rest of the first half in the locker room. He has reappeared, and he's going down the sideline. He said to some of his offensive guys, I'm going to try to give it a go, but just now trying to throw and catch the football a little bit on the sideline and shaking his head in front of the athletic trainers. It looks as though we may not see him, but we'll keep an eye on it. At least he is back out here on the sideline.
I mean, they put up 28 on the board. They put up 360 yards. But yeah, as Laura said, I mean, he is a big-time weapon. He has been their best wide receiver as this season has gone on. First play from scrimmage here in the second half. And a little shuffle from the running back before the play starts, and then he squirts through. Greg McCray into Temple territory right away. Here we go again.
I like how he made himself small. Got his pads down low. Defenders couldn't find him. Nice pickup.
They give it to McCray once again. Nice cut upfield out into the open. And McCray inside the 35 down to the 32.
That's Jordan Johnson, the center, pulling around. It's that pin and pull scheme. Center gets outside, opens up a big hole.
Milton in the pocket, down the sideline, wide open, and a jump attempt out of bounds, incomplete. Nixon was open, the ball came a little late, and now both players, Nixon and Delvon Randall, the safety, are slow to get up.
Delvon Randall made a tremendous play on this ball. Nixon was running wide open. They talked about how Randall covers ground. That was an unbelievable play on the football. Great throw. Right on the money. Would have been a touchdown had Randall not gotten there and made a great play.
I think that left foot, he was trying to get it down, and it came close. Second and 10 for Milton and the UCF offense. After all that time, they will take a little extra time. And hand the ball off. McCray's had a lot of running room. Stays on his feet. Greg McCray, touchdown. What a run. So you thought the defenses were going to regroup at halftime. Maybe not.
Well, I will tell you, this is a great run by Greg McCray. Great block in there by the tight end, number 86. Great cut, and he makes one guy miss. You know, when you play an 8-man front football team that has one high safety, if one guy misses, that safety's got to bring it down. If the one safety misses, that's going to be a touchdown, and that's exactly what happened on that snap.
Well, they blocked it up perfect up front. It's Jordan Johnson. It's Cole Schneider. Check out this double team here. We're going to take it up, and then we're going to ISO right there with the fullback, Kalubiali. Huge hole up the middle, and it's McCray that hits it with the burst. Makes one man miss in the open field, and it's a sprint to the end zone. Didn't take long. UCF back on top.
This game moving a little faster than the wheel. I mean, it is a blur, this one. And we got a long way to go. The 12th ranked Knights of UCF trying to make that statement just a couple days after the first college football playoff rankings come out. All the angst around here. Does UCF get respect? Do they have a chance, if they stay perfect, to make it to the Final Four, to the playoff? Isaiah Wright will take the kick return and cut it upfield and get to the 20. From Miami, started his college career at Navy, transferred here, was a walk-on, and now he looks pretty darn good as a scholarship player. Wright gets the ball in his hands. The first play from scrimmage in the second half for Temple. The Temple Owls offense was equally impressive, if not more so, in the first half, and a lot of it had to do with the play of their sophomore quarterback, Anthony Russo.
Fantastic in the first half. We talked a lot about his pocket presence, made some plays with his legs, and really efficient throwing the football down the field.
Armstead in the backfield alongside Russo, takes a handoff. That jump cut will be good enough for a Temple first down. And another reaction from Armstead. And he's Armstead, and I don't blame him. He's arguing that Joey Connors, and I don't know if he was trying to twist his ankle again, but that's going to go against the Temple running back. The reaction gets flagged.
It's always the second guy. I mean, that's the way it goes.
Well, let's see if Connors did anything. Well, he just sat on him again.
Just kind of laid on him.
Well, see, to me, that's a ridiculous penalty. Ridiculous. He's pushing him off of him. He didn't throw a punch.
I totally agree. And by the way, that's not uncommon for a defensive lineman to put all 300 pounds on top of a runner.
Not uncommon, says a defensive lineman who used to be 300 pounds.
That's correct. But you know what? I got no problem with the response from Rock either. Get off me.
Yeah, if that's against Armstead alone, now maybe they throw double penalties, but yeah, that's just ridiculous.
Jeff Collins said he didn't do anything.
Ruling on the field is a first down. After the play, dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct, offense number 7. After this 15-yard penalty, the down counts. It will be first down. That is number 7's first unsportsmanlike foul.
I don't blame Jeff Collins for being ticked off. You cannot throw a flag on that one.
Yeah, I mean, you got to let these guys play it. Look, there's going to be a little bit of that going on, but it was nothing flagrant.
I mean, a 300-pound guy's lying on top of him, and he pushes him to get off. That's it.
That's just football, right?
97 yards of penalty for Temple. That's just football. So it is first down, and it's 1st and 10. They don't have the chains organized. Russo will throw over the top and intercepted. What a pick. Novell Clark. Over the shoulder catch. The first turnover of this game.
You talk about a guy that's got some length and plays the ball in the air. Great job of keeping your laser focus on the football. Lays out. That's his 2nd pick of the year. He had one 2 weeks ago against East Carolina. He comes off his coverage, sees the ball, full layout. Great job of playing the ball in the air.
It's fantastic. Full extension. He just continues to sink in his coverage, as you said. He had his eyes on Russo, saw the pass, continued to sink, and makes an acrobatic interception. Wow, UCF has flipped this game here quickly to start the second half.
And that one is caught. A little comeback route for Nixon. Stopped a yard short.
One of the better passes we've seen from McKenzie Milton in quite a while. Great timing. Ball's out right as the receiver's breaking back on the comeback.
McCray straight ahead. And through another would-be tackler. First down inside the 20.
And to tell you what, UCF has really begun to impose their will with this offensive line against a stout defensive front for Temple.
Doesn't happen very often to the Owls. Milton pressured, flings it up there, caught, touchdown. What a play by McKenzie Milton. Getting knocked backwards, he found the tight end. 19 yards. Put that on the highlight reel for the quarterback.
Second time we've seen the exact same play go for a touchdown. The last time it was inside the 5-yard line. Now it's coming out from the 18. But running the football sets up the play-action pass. An outstanding route by Kalubiali.
I like the route. I like the catch. I did like the courage of Milton to hang in there and make that throw.
Kalubiali, you're going to see him right here. He's going to start up like he's going to block, and then he's going to take it to the center of the field. As you mentioned, Milton waits for it, and just puts it up. Fantastic adjustment to the football. Second touchdown pass for his tight end.
Tight game with, what, 7 different lead changes already. Now the question is, Temple, can they get the offense going again? Can they keep up now with this powerful UCF offense? Feels like going to be a very big possession here for the Owls. Toward the end zone, Wright will take a knee. And as Dusty pointed out, good stuff, Laura, on the details of how much that could impact this offense. They have played the run beautifully, UCF has, since halftime, and a lot of it's been that guy, Nate Evans.
Yeah, we talked about him earlier. Again, a guy that's very physical. He's sideline to sideline, but when he has to stick his face in there when the ball's being run between the tackles, he's the guy you want hitting the ball.
Joey Connors up front, 91, the defensive tackle. Penetration again, and with Picozzi now having to play center, watch inside for penetration the rest of the way.
You got the 2 different true freshmen out there with all the injuries at the tackle spots. That could be scary, I would think. But plenty of time there for Russo to find Isaiah Wright, who's got the first down, out to the 40-yard line.
What's impressive about Russo to me is that he's letting these receivers catch the ball on the run and making yards after the catch. You're going to see some big numbers, and every one of them aren't deep balls. Sometimes the ball's caught at 7 yards and ends up being a 30-yard gain. But he's putting the ball in the place that he needs to so they can get yards after the catch.
And Armstead, we should point out, after he limped off the last time they had the ball, back on the field for this drive and trying again to push that pile. Well, Laura told us she was down there, aside from all the info she's given us on the offensive line, that they did retape Brock Armstead's ankle while the defense was on the field.
Tip of the cap to his toughness tonight, guys. He is really working through some pain in that ankle, and he's been unbelievably productive.
Russo throws, and a catch by the tight end with a broken tackle after the catch. Yeboah right into UCF territory. And now the clock will wind down, and we'll go to the fourth quarter. So, a lot to think about, a lot on the line. UCF, a lot of angst around here. Do we get enough respect? Can we get to the playoff? Can we stay undefeated? Looking for a 21st win in a row. And the number 12 Knights head to the fourth quarter ahead, 42-34. Well, it's ESPN's Thursday Night College Football presented by Dave & Buster's. We start quarter number 4. UCF, the only points in the third. They have the 42-34 lead. Temple has the ball. Russo in the pocket, and now will escape. Russo on the move again. First down, Owls.
How many times can we say that tonight? The guy that's got a great feel for the pocket. You know, he's not an easy guy to bring down. Even if you could put 2 hands on him and you're coming off of a block as a defensive lineman, you can't pull him down, and he's got decent speed in the open field. Great job.
There's Mom Nancy. I mean, she knows how important this sequence is. We still got a long way to go in this game. But Temple's had 2 long drives in a row and come up with nothing on either of them. Russo again is going to run, this time toward the sidelines for a positive first down gain.
The defensive line of UCF is not doing a good job keeping proper rush lanes, right? When you rush the passer, you want to keep 2-by-2 relationship. 2 guys on one side of the football, 2 guys on the other side, so you can shut off some of those quarterback run lanes. They're getting 3-by-1. They're getting out of position, and Anthony Russo is making them pay.
64 of those 230-plus rush yards for the Owls from their quarterback. 2nd and 6, they show pressure. Armstead gets the carry around the corner, lowers those shoulders, and knocks Kyle Gibson back a yard or so. Armstead getting up very slowly. Frankly, you watch this guy on the sideline when the defense is on the field, and you wonder how he's still out there.
This guy's a game day gladiator. That's what I call dudes like that. I mean, a minute ago we saw him with his shoe off. Yep. He could barely walk on the sideline. And again, now, he doesn't look when he gets on the field like he's got any issues. That's just a mental toughness that you can't teach.
Pretty impressive, Raquel Armstead. 3rd and 2. And a play fake. Russo's going to try to keep it, and this time he takes a lick and goes down. He did not get it. Those are the hits you want to avoid against your quarterback. I mean, Jeff Collins, I don't think he wants to kick another field goal.
How about Kyle Gibson, the safety, coming
Great
down
job.
and making that play on the quarterback. Quarterback keeps it.
Could you read the lips of Jeff Collins? He thought that was a hit to the helmet, with the helmet. He was arguing for a flag there against Gibson.
I thought it was a great play by the safety, coming down, making a play in open space. It's him and the quarterback, and he gets him down. Huge play coming here.
Hang on, Mom. 4th and 3. Right in motion, and a low snap. The throw is caught somehow by Wright. I really don't know how that play worked, but it's a Temple first down.
Well, it's a low snap. There's pressure inside by Tristan Hill. Not a clean pocket for Russo. Look at him. The ball's on the ground. He picks it up, fires it out there. Man, tight coverage outside by Clark. But an outstanding catch by Isaiah Wright. He stretches the ball just enough to get the first down.
Now, Jeff Collins has been super aggressive in this game, and it's worked. It's been a good strategy. Remember, the starting center is not in the game, Matt Hennessy. Yeboah, the tight end, who looked to me like he dislocated a finger. He's back in. Armstead straight ahead and down inside the 10, close to a first down, Temple.
Armstead has carried the ball almost 30 times tonight. 27 rushes for 142 yards on that ankle. And he's not slowing down, guys. We've made the comment, maybe he's done. We just said that about 3 or 4 minutes ago, watching him on the sideline. He's not done.
I thought there, Picozzi, who's moved over and playing center. He's only got one hand. An excellent block to open up that hole for Armstead.
8th play of this drive. I mean, Temple's got to have points, and you feel like they got to have a touchdown. Russo will get that touchdown. Ventel Bryant. And now what do you do? Is it too early to go for two and try to tie the game with 9:44 left?
No, I think you go for two right here. See if Bryant went down and got it. Like a slant working on Clark. Excellent job with his hands, the concentration, brings it to his body. Wow, big time catch by the senior Vintel Bryant.
Great job by him beating the guy who had inside leverage and really beating him on the slant by about 1.5 yards. Great ball placement.
So now they are going for two. And I think you guys can see why Jeff Collins is doing this, to try to tie the game with under 10 minutes to go. Gardner motions into the backfield. Russo maybe making an adjustment to the call. That snap looked like it came late. They pitch it to Gardner. He made the first man miss and got close, but no, stopped short. Wow, great effort, just not quite enough. A.J. Wooden saved the 2 points with that tackle, didn't he?
It's also Kyle Gibson coming up from the safety spot. You got a safety coming up, a defensive tackle hustling. They don't want to let him in. What a tight game we have here. UC up by a hair.
Vintel Bryant from nearby Tampa, Florida, said that this game meant the most to him because his family and friends, 24 of them in fact, in that Vintel Bryant cheering section, got to come and watch him play in person. He said they don't often get to see him play. They can't make it all the way up to Philadelphia. He said, hey, wait, watch this show that I'm going to put on in front of my people right here in the state of Florida.
And he's done it. 2 touchdown catches. Where's that number 1? The number of honor in this Temple program. At one point was actually asked to leave the team. Was not a single-digit number holder. Earned his way back on. Earned the number 1. And playing like one of those leaders tonight. Halloween costumes. Temple, one thing about Temple, they do not take themselves too seriously, which I like. A little squib kick. That's interesting again. And the special teams tackle outside the 35. I mean, Temple's got more than 600 yards of offense in this game. They've actually scored more times than UCF. A throw into coverage and somehow caught. Man, what a catch by Williams.
What a throw. How about the back shoulder throw on that one? That is unbelievable. And those are virtually unstoppable for a DB. If that's where you're going to put the ball, how do you defend that? Great throw, great catch.
Milton on the move, now looking to scramble, and will throw again to Williams. Why not? A shorter gain here to be second down.
Did you see that arm angle where he threw that ball from about his hip? That's the one thing about McKenzie Milton. He can throw the football from so many different arm angles, almost like a shortstop right there. Whip, just whip it in there, and on time and on target.
Different from just about any other quarterback in the country. Nice hole. McCray, another big gain on the ground into Temple territory, down to the 37-yard line. 14 yards. He's up over 100 by plenty, averaging 12 yards a carry. Milton flushed again. Milton throws it as he's getting dragged to the ground, and he did get rid of it. Incomplete. He got it across the line of scrimmage. So to be second down. What is the difference in this game? Why with Temple all the yards, all the scores? Well, they've had to kick 2 field goals instead of touchdowns. It's been all touchdowns for UCF, plus 1 missed field goal and a missed 2-point conversion. And UCF's lead is slim, but it is a lead. Still, how much energy could these guys have left? Still a long way to go. Looked like another screen setup, and it was. Out into the open field. There goes Killens. Nice move. That was defended pretty well. Sometimes Adrian Killens is just too quick.
How about the jump cut there by Adrian Killens out in the open space? Looked like the defender made a nice job, had good leverage, but a whoop jump cut back to the middle of the field. Big pickup by Killens.
Quickly to the line of scrimmage. Milton looking middle. Now throws toward the end zone, and it is knocked away incomplete. But a flag throw.
Well, to be honest with you, that's the only way you can really defend it. It was another back shoulder throw that was right on the mark. It looked exactly like the throw before. He's saying, what I do? What else am I supposed to be able to do? It's dang near impossible to defend if thrown correctly.
Pass interference, defense number 23. 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Rodney Williams is saying, what do you want me to do, sir?
I don't know what you're supposed to do on that one. I mean, that didn't look like...
Looked like pretty good coverage to me.
It did not look like a penalty.
Kind of feeling Rodney Williams' pain on that one.
I mean, Temple's up close to 150 yards in penalties in this game.
You think about the missed field goal earlier, the 2 false starts pushed them back. They ultimately missed that field goal. So we're talking about game-changing type of penalties.
There's a 4th down. Temple had stopped, put a face mask, kept the drive going. UCF punched that one in for a touchdown. Now they're going to get another touchdown straight ahead into the end zone. Taj McGowan. His 2nd of the night. Now with the 8-point advantage, they'll line up for the extra point. This is why you can't kick field goals in this game. Extra point is up and good.
Well, it's a good old counter play. It's the favorite running play for this UCF football team. They've been so physical in the second half. Schneider's going to pull around. We're going to see him start in and then reverse back. And they're going to get the seal block, and a big hole opens up off the edge. Outstanding blocking by the guard pulling. 88, Jake Hescock setting it up, and it's Taj McGowan finding the end zone once again. UCF up late.
All right, how do you measure this game? Well, you could say 89 points. You could say 1,200 plus total yards of offense. You could also count the cups. It's been that kind of night here in Orlando. Number 13 is feeling it.
I think more points scored or more cups accumulated there, Dave?
I don't know. I don't want to count, but it's a lot of cups. It has been a wild night in the American.
Especially for that guy in the 13 jersey, man.
49-40, number 12 UCF. With 8:16 still to go, Temple will get the ball back. And a hesitation. He's got to come now. Isaiah Wright will at least salvage something, so it won't be a total disaster for Temple. Russo swings it out. Gardner, who is good in the open field as the backup to Armstead, got close. And they still, remember, don't have their center. Matt Hennessy, another one of their very best football players. So they got two freshmen. Yeah, that's it. They got 2 true freshmen out there. They got the backup center in snapping. They got the backup running back in. And they're still in this game. Under 8 to go. Down 49-40. Anthony Russo, a big reason why. And that was a good decision. He found the tight end with the pressure coming. First down, Temple.
Great job by Russo, really seeing the blitz coming from the left side. Got rid of the ball to the tight end, Mybrick. Great job on that, seeing the blitz and throwing to his hot out there.
Must get points with the clock winding. That one knocked down. Joey Connors. Total yardage tonight for Temple, a school record in the hit. Now, it's not a Blue Bloods football history, but still, they've been playing football for a long time. Temple, all-time total yardage record tonight.
I don't care how you slice it.
That's
663
right.
yards, and the game's not over. That's hard to do if there's no defense out there and you're just throwing the ball on air.
Yep.
It's been a very efficient offense tonight. Very impressed.
2nd and 10. Russo takes another hit and a perfect delivery into UCF territory. That's one of his very best passes of the night. This time to Randall Jones.
Watch him sit in the pocket here. Pressure's coming from the outside. Pressure's coming from the middle. The rush gets home. Steps into that throw as he's getting hit. Right on the hip of his receiver, Randall Jones. Excellent throw.
So here comes Temple again. Under 6 to play. Down to the 20. Russo over the middle. That's where he has gone over and over again. Another look for a flag from Bryant. This time none comes. It'll be 2nd down.
Haven't seen many poor throws by Anthony Russo. Overshot Vintel Bryant. Looked like he had a step on Aaron Robinson. They brought pressure from the boundary. Anthony Russo got rid of that football just a touch quick.
Well, I guess now you have a decision as a head coach. If you can't get 10 yards here, do you try a field goal down 9? Maybe you do. The field goal kicking has not been totally reliable. Russo alone in the backfield. Pressure picked up across the middle, right through the hands of Jagger Gardner. And Bryant behind the play, a little bit shaken up.
That was a catchable ball. And
got to catch that one.
That's a drop.
I mean, look, you can't put the ball any better than where he put it. I mean, that's a huge play in this game. That's a huge drop. We haven't seen many drop balls tonight by these guys. Obviously, Gardner's a tailback. He's not a wideout, but they got the mismatch that they wanted. And you got to come down with that ball in these type championship type games.
To the end, this will be Temple's 50th play of the night. Not overall, but in UCF territory. The numbers tonight have just been staggering on both sides. On 3rd and 10, Russo will go down the sack. And now you're back maybe outside of field goal range. Tristan Hill got there. A rare pressure that finished with a sack. Now what do you do?
We've been waiting to see Tristan Hill get going all game long. You see him come inside, gets that rip up on Javon Fair, and he gets the quarterback to the ground. They don't have many great pass rushing defensive linemen. The guy is Tristan Hill. It's taken a while for him to get going, but a huge, huge sack for this defense.
He's the most explosive guy they got on the defensive line, and this is the time you need him to show up, and he produced on that play.
Well, you got to get this. Rich Ravano, the fullback, in, maybe just to help with the protection. Russo's been tremendous. He's got time over the top toward Bryant, who jumps up and can't catch it. Just a little bit too high, incomplete, and UCF holds. They will take over.
Richie Grant's safety was over the top. They tried to just throw a jump ball to Vintel Bryant. The coverage was good. Unable to go up and get it. Actually surprised they had a one-on-one matchup. You got Brandon Mack up top and no safety help. They elect to go to Vintel Bryant. Good job by Richie Grant coming over the top.
Richie Grant covered about 30 yards on that. It was a great break on the ball. He literally just looked at the eyes of the quarterback, broke on the ball, and essentially ended up in a double coverage scenario.
Now, Temple probably cannot afford a first down, certainly can't afford a couple of them, but they have forced 3 different 3-and-outs in this game. Can they stop UCF? McCray has been tough to stop. There's one first down across the 40. He has been a difference maker for the Knights.
Been fantastic. Jump cut to the left. Outstanding block down the field on the second level by the tight end Jake Hescock. And you're exactly right. Greg McCray, this second half, he opened it up 3 straight runs in the second half, and he gets to the end zone. I think that's been the biggest difference for me. UCF's ability to win the line of scrimmage and run the football at will, something they could not do early in this game.
Well, on the running backs, they just keep shuffling them at you. There's different guys every time carrying the ball, and they're all fast.
Make you miss.
So they want, this is the longest they've let that play clock wind the whole game, and why not? McCray will take it, and he's going to be tackled from behind. So he lost several yards on that first down run. And Temple's got those 2 timeouts. They're not using them yet. But it sets up a scenario here with that clock moving. If you're not going to use the timeouts, basically you have to stop them here. Another first down, and it's not over, but it's just about over.
Well, look, if you got any chance, a tackle for loss is what you needed, right? And they got that. So it's going to put them in a 2nd and 14. UCF can't afford to be risky right here. They need to eat clock, manage the clock, run the football, don't take any chances.
I mean, it's a 2-score game. You can be really conservative here with under 3.5 to go. Now hand it off to McCray again. McCray squirted through and broke a tackle. There goes McCray out into the open. And he'll finally be tackled down close to the 20. What a run. And that should just about do it tonight for the number 12 UCF Knights.
I told you earlier, it's the same play as the touchdown. It's going to be here. He's going to start here, and he's going to come back. It's the counter. Watch him seal it off, and then it's just McCray making people miss. Hat on the hat, runs through an arm tackle of Chappelle Russell, and then speed in the open field with maybe a game-clinching run. What a second half for Greg McCray in this UCF rushing attack.
Maybe the fatigue of all the snaps played, all the up and downs starting to take its toll on Temple. Although, to be fair to McCray, he's breaking tackles, and he has made Temple defenders miss all game long.
That counter's tough to defend, Coach.
It is. I like the way they run it. It's very unconventional in terms of how you run the counters. But look, let's give the running backs a lot of credit. They're making great cuts off those.
So a timeout called by Temple. They've got 1 left. Our college football playoff rankings presented by Allstate. And we'll take a look at those college football playoff rankings revealed for the first time on Tuesday. So our initial top 4: Alabama, Clemson, LSU, and Notre Dame, with Michigan, Georgia, and Oklahoma following that. Let's go downstairs to Laura Rutledge.
Yeah, Dave, I corresponded with the executive director of the college football playoff today, Bill Hancock, just about exactly what the committee talked about when discussing UCF. And obviously, he can't tell us everything, but he did want to make sure that he pointed out, number one, they're looking at body of work. And then number two, it's all based around the eye test for these committee members. A lot of them, of course, coaches and guys who have been part of this game. Yes, the data is important, says Bill Hancock, but a lot of it's about observing the team. The committee monitoring all teams closely. He said one factor that played in, UCF, the only team in the country that has not defeated a team that has a winning record. Now, he also said he could tell us that UCF was in the discussion for teams 10 through 13.
So maybe a couple spots of wiggle room on the upside. Now this performance tonight, we'll take a look at their resume. The strength of schedule is really hurting the Knights right now. 127 out of 130, one of the worst strengths of schedule. It will get better here down the home stretch. What does tonight's performance say to that committee if the eye test is so important, guys?
I think it says it's a really good UCF football team that knows how to win, right? 21 straight wins coming into tonight. But I also think it validates them not being in the top 4, really even the top 10. Because they haven't played those quality opponents. This is a really good, solid football team, but the reality is you have to prove it against worthy opponents on the field. And unfortunately, though this is going to be a nice win against a quality Temple team, Temple's got 677 yards. Don't think that will be something that this committee looks at as well.
Yeah, you look at teams, true championship teams. What do you always have? You always have a really good quarterback, and you've got either a really good or excellent defense. Well, they got a really good quarterback, but to your point, Dusty, 677 yards in a game tonight where, I mean, Temple hadn't done this to anybody else.
McCray will try to get away and hanging on for dear life. Temple with the tackle there. They are out of timeouts. It'll now be 4th down. Now, if you're UCF, do you risk a field goal attempt where a kick could be blocked? This special teams play of Temple, which has been so impressive, looks like they're gonna. And this would be a field goal that will matter to a lot of people. And of course, the game is not, you know, even if you just run the ball and try to convert, it is a 2-score game. Does Temple need a miracle here on special teams to have a chance to win this one?
Well, we've seen it this year. We've seen them block a field goal and return it for a touchdown. We've seen that earlier in the year. They've got 5 scores.
Kick is up, not blocked, and it is good. 52-40, UCF with 1:36 to go.
Well, I think 127th in terms of strength of schedule. I mean, doesn't that say it all? I mean, it's just, and look, it's nobody's fault. It's just the way it is. And as long as that is the case, I think there's virtually no chance for a group of 5 team to get in. That's just the way it is. And I know a lot of people don't want to hear it, but it's a reality of where we are in college football.
And this truly is the last gasp. Russo will throw, and it's intercepted. Intercepted, and smartly, UCF safety Richie Grant will go down, and that will clinch it. It's going to be 21 in a row for a program that was off the radar, off the map, had a hard time winning a game, let alone 21 games in a row. And give Scott Frost a lot of credit and his staff that's in Lincoln now, but also Josh Heupel and company for keeping it going. It's a special thing they have here in Orlando at the moment.
You know, I want to go back to your point, Dusty, because I don't think people realize when you're a first-year head coach,
right,
it's not only did he come in here with the burden of carrying everything on, he's trying to figure everything out as a head coach.
Right.
He has done a fantastic job for his first year of getting all the moving parts organized and getting them to this spot. It's much easier said than done, and people don't realize the difficulties in that.
New offense, new defense, no letdown, 8-0. I thought coming into this game, this would be their biggest test. They've still got some, games left on the slate. They've got to play Navy. They've got to play Cincinnati. They got to go to South Florida. But if you're asking my opinion, I think UCF is going to get themselves back to an undefeated season and a championship scenario.
Well, a very resilient performance tonight because Temple showed up to play. I mean, Temple, they're going to limp home disappointed, I'm sure, but A heck of an effort from the Owls. A very hard-fought game. In the end, just too much UCF, too much McKenzie Milton. 52-40, the final score. The longest win streak in college football extends. It's 21 in a row for this program in the American. What a night on both sides. Time to regroup for UCF and for Temple. For Laura, and maybe for us too. For Dusty, for Gene. Thanks for being with us here on Thursday night. Great job, guys. I'm Dave Fleming saying so long from Orlando.